First of all, let's take a look at your computer case, where the CD or DVD drives are installed. You may have a CD drive installed at the moment, or perhaps you have a DVD drive instead. A CD drive can accept CD discs, while a DVD drive can accept DVD discs and CD discs. You might have two drives installed, perhaps two DVD drives. The drive that you want to replace, whichever type of drive that it is, it can be replaced with a CD drive or a DVD drive. So let's make a start. Firstly, remove any CD or DVD discs that you have loaded into any of your drives, then turn off your computer. Next, unplug your computer from the mains wall outlet. Make sure that all other peripherals are unplugged as well, such as the monitor, speakers, printer, and so on. From the back of your computer case, if you have a switch similar to this one shown here, press it to the off position. If you do have a switch, it can be found next to the power cable. Not all computers have this switch. If yours doesn't, just continue. Any cables that are plugged into your computer case, make a note of each cable's position for reassembling them later on. Now pull out the power cable, followed by any other cables that are inserted into the computer case. Now it's time to get inside the computer case. How to do this varies from one case to the next. Some cases are held closed by screws at the back of the computer. If yours is like this, you may have to remove the top panel first, then remove a side panel to gain access to the insides of your computer. With some cases, just the side panel can be removed. With other cases, the top and two side panels are all in one. Screwless cases are opened by a handle or lever, for example, a handle at the top that releases the side panel. Or you may have a case like this one, where the handle is on the side and you can open the case this way. However you open your computer case, you should end up being able to see all of the components of your computer, and will look reasonably similar to this one. Before touching anything inside the case, remove any static electricity from yourself by touching an unpainted part of the case for 15 seconds. An alternative to this is to use an anti-static wrist strap. Now locate the drive that you want to replace. From where your CD or DVD discs are inserted, follow the drive back into the case. Notice the cables that are inserted into the back of the drive. Whichever type of drive you have, your drive will have at least two cables at the back. These are the power cable and the data cable. You may have other cables inserted into the back of the drive as well, such as a sound cable, as shown here. However many cables you have inserted into the back of your drive, take a note of each cable connector's position and orientation. Whenever removing any cables, always remove them by pulling the connector, not the cable itself. The power should be removed first. Your power cable connector will either look like the first or the second connector shown here. Now find your power cable connector and remove it from the back of the drive. The data cable should now be removed. Your data cable connector will either look like the first or the second connector shown here. Now find your data cable connector and remove it from the back of the drive. If your drive's data cable connector looks like this, you have a PATA drive. If your drive's data cable connector looks like this, you have an SATA drive. Cable colours vary. Make a note of which type of drive you have, PATA or SATA. If you have any other cables plugged into the back of your drive, you can now remove them as well. The drive is held in place by either screws or fixings. Sometimes the drive will have screws or fixings on both sides of the drive. If you haven't removed both side panels already, you may have to if your drive is fixed on the other side as well. Now remove any screws that hold your drive in place. If your drive is held in place by fixings, remove them instead. There are now generally two ways to take your drive out of the computer case. Number 1, slide the drive forward and out. It should slide out quite easily. Or number 2, if your computer case is blocking the drive from sliding straight out, you may have to remove the front panel of your case, or a section of it. This panel can be removed by unscrewing or unclipping it from the back of the panel. If you do have to remove the front panel, take care because it is likely that there will be wires connected from the front panel to the case itself. Once this panel is out of the way, you can now remove your drive. Keep the drive close by for now. It may have a setting on it that you might need in a moment. If you're not very familiar with the different types of drives that can be purchased, I would recommend replacing your original drive with a DVD writer drive. This type of drive can read CD discs and standard DVD discs, and has many other functions. Also, they are no more complicated to use than any other drive. One last thing to mention is that if your original drive was using a PATA data cable, your new drive will need to be a PATA drive. But if your original drive was using an SATA data cable, your new drive will need to be an SATA drive. If you're still uncertain, take your drive into a computer retailer's and they will select a new drive for you that is compatible with your computer. If you're using a PATA drive, take a look at the back of your original drive first. There may be a small clip connecting two metal pins together. This clip is called a jumper. The jumper is used to select a particular drive setting. Your original drive may be set to either Cable Select, Slave or Master. These settings may be written as CS, S and M. Sometimes these settings are written on the top of the drive. Once you have found which setting your original drive is set to, you will need to select the same setting for your new drive. For example, if your original drive is set to Master, then your new drive needs to be set to Master. This is the jumper shown up close. Take a look at your new drive to discover how to select the setting that you want, then place the jumper in the appropriate place. If you have an SATA drive, you do not have to set any jumpers. If your new drive's faceplate is black, but your computer case is white, or vice versa, you can change the faceplate to match your computer case. This can only be done if your new drive came with a second one. This is because faceplates from other drives will not fit correctly. If you would like to change the faceplate, firstly locate the small hole on the front of your new drive. Using a thin metal rod, gently push the rod into the hole until the drive tray opens. Unclip the first part of the faceplate. Next, push in the clips at the side of the second part and slide it off. Take your other faceplate, slide the second part onto the drive and click it into place. Now clip the first part onto the drive's tray. Make sure it clicks into place and push the tray shut.